5 fish in my life. If we were to go out on a boat now, I wouldn't know how to drive it. I barely know how to get the fish out of the hook. Like, I don't even really know what I'm talking about. You see, I am not a faithful witness to where a good fishing spot is in New Zealand. I am not a faithful witness to anything around fishing. So don't come to me. Instead, I suggest that you maybe go talk to Steve, or you talk to Larry, or you talk to Terry. Those 3 guys, and probably more that I know of, are faithful witnesses to fishing. They know how to fish, they've got the stuff, they can drive a boat, they can put the bait on and get the hook out of their mouths. Who would you choose? You would choose them, of course you would. In our summer series, where we look at who Jesus is, we're looking at Jesus as the faithful witness. In Hebrews 12, just the beginning couple of verses, it talks about how there's a great crowd of multitudes, these people who are kind of encouraging us on. And there in the crowd is Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. In a sense, he is the best example, a faithful witness, and the one who knows how to do it. He is the Terry or the Steve, so to speak. And in this sense, we have one who not only knows, but has done, and has done so well. And not only do we have one who knows and has done so well, we have one who has done that even though there is consequences that aren't particularly friendly. Not only is Jesus faithful in his witness to who he is and who he says to be God, he is faithful in his witness knowing that it cost him heaven, knowing that it was going to cost him pain on earth, and knowing that it was going to cost him his life. You see, he is faithful in his witness. He is faithful in the cost of his witness. He does it anyway, knowing what it will cost him. But there is this other kind of concept of being a faithful witness that I really love. T.F.F. Torrance is a Christian theologian, and he wrote basically a quote that said, "There is no angry God hiding behind Jesus." Jesus is the faithful witness, not in just what he said and did on earth, claiming that he was God. Jesus is a faithful representation of God to us. We can have an idea of God who is in scripture from the law and the Old Testament prophets, but actually people didn't really realize it until he was here with them. Here is God saying, "Here I am. I am the representation of God. I am God." And this can screw with our minds a little bit, because sometimes we have this picture of an angry God out to get us, or we like the New Testament God and not the Old Testament God. But in Colossians 3:15, I'm going to read it for you. 3:15 to 19, it says this: "He," being Jesus, is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For by him all things were created, author, and through him all things in heaven and earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions, rulers or authority, were created through him and for him. And he is before all things, the perfecter of all things. And in him all things are held together. For he is the head of the body, his church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that everything may be in him. For in him the fullness of God was pleased to dwell, and through him to reconcile himself all things, whether on heaven or earth, making peace by the blood of the cross. Jesus is God. He is a faithful witness to who God is. He is a faithful witness by his character and by his love and his grace and his forgiveness. He is a faithful witness even though there was death and pain. He was still faithful to the message, and he is a faithful God. There is no angry God hiding behind this loving Jesus. So as you think about Jesus as a faithful witness, think about what you know to be true of Jesus, what you know to be true of his action and his grace, what you know to be true of his action and his grace, knowing that it cost him everything. And think about how Jesus is God. There is not this separateness of God and Jesus, and how in that he shows us who God truly is. These are lots of big thoughts, but know that Jesus is the faithful witness, and Jesus is God.